Alright then today guys, welcome back to another day of 7th grade math. It's Mr. Gomez, your favorite teacher in the whole world. And today, part 2, we're going to keep talking about similar figures. If you haven't seen the other video, I'll leave it up for you over here. Make sure you check it out. Other than that, if you haven't, please subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and let's ride. Alright, so let's look at this right here. This looks complicated, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Just by looking at it. Hey, I need everybody to stop talking. If it looks complicated, do you think you're going to get questions with this shape in the test?
Yes.
Most likely. I see it all the time on all tests. So let's pay attention. We have, let me show you. How many triangles do we have?
We have two.
2. Let's start with the first one. Let's start with the big one. Because everybody can see this one right here. Can you?
Yes, sir.
A, B, C. So the orange one is triangle A, B, C. Any questions about that?
Nope.
Triangle A, B, C. Okay? Now the other triangle, which one is it?
D and E. Yeah, D and E.
What else?
Oh, B, D, D, D.
D, B,
Oh.
and then you go down to E and connect them, right? So this is going to be triangle D, B, E. We good? All right. So, luckily for you, in this worksheet, they already did that for you. And they also even color-coded this for you. But if you don't have different colors, if you're testing, I'm going to show you how to do it with pencil. So, first of all, how do they get on the big triangle this 12? How do they get that 12 on the big triangle? Let's look at the line. The blue line is from A to B. So let's look at the original. From A to B, you have 4 and you have 8. So all together is 12. Make sense? Yes? How do you get the 9? From B to C, 6 plus 3, you get 9. Any questions on that? Carmelo, you good? All right. So let's keep working on this. 15 is already there. 10 is already there, right? All right. So they color-coded this for us. If they don't, that's okay. First of all, what I want you to do every single time, which one is smaller? The one on the left or the one on the right?
Left.
So I put a S for small and put a B for big. Now, since you don't have different colors, you could, but most likely on a test you won't. Okay, we're going to do this with tick marks. Okay, so I'm going to start with the small triangle. Don't worry about the second one. I'm going to start with one of the triangles. It doesn't matter which one you start with. Okay, and then this one has numbers, so that's good. Do any of the numbers repeat? 6, 8, and 10. Do they repeat? Yes or no? I can hear you.
No.
No. So that means that all 3 lengths are different, correct? So that means they're not the same. So I'm going to do 3 different tick marks. Going to label them with tick marks. So where do you start? It does not matter where you start on the first triangle. I usually start with a small number and work my way around, but it doesn't matter. It matters when you go to the second one. So I'm going to start 1. I'm going to do tick marks over here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? I labeled it. You can have it the other way. You can have 1 on the bottom, 2 on the side, and 3 on the top. I don't care. The first triangle does not matter where you put it. I just go from smaller to bigger because it makes sense to me like that. Okay? Like I said, it doesn't matter on the first one. It matters, though, when you go to label the corresponding side on the next figure. Okay? Luckily for you, on this one, they color coded for you the corresponding sides. But sometimes you're going to have the shapes rotated, flipped, inverted, and you're going to have to figure out what side is the corresponding side to the other one, okay? Just like on the picture with the guy on the previous video, the top of the head had the number, so you have to look at the top of the head on the other one and see which one is the corresponding side, right? Same thing with the triangles. So over here, on the big one, which line or which number will get one tick mark? One tick mark. This is where you cannot mess it up. 9. 9 corresponds to 6. Very good. Which one gets 2 lines?
12.
Very good. And which one gets the 3?
15.
Very good. 1, 2, and 3. So we have my corresponding sides. We're good. Now, you're going to call these lines a name. For example, the one with the one tick mark is going to be called BE. Or it can also be called EB. It doesn't matter. Stop. So, let me show you something. Look at this right here on the top. If I want to know, the letters by itself represents the angles. For example, letter A represents angle A. Letter B represents angle B. Letter C represents angle C. In this case, they're not labeled, but we can also do this very easily. So for angle E, I'm just going to put one curve, one arc, 2 right here, and then 3. Those are my angles. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the corresponding angles on the other figure, which in this case is very easy to see because they are oriented the same way. So I get 1, get 2, I get 3. All right, so far so good? Let's look at this on the bottom. We already found how we got the 12 and the 9. We're good. Now we're going to find the segments other than lines, okay? BD corresponds to BA. They're saying that BD corresponds to BA. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
They both have 2 tick marks, so yes, that makes sense.
Oh.
All right? So now DE, let's look at this. DE has to correspond to AC. If you label it, you'll be able to do it over here. DE, AC. Let's put that over here. AC. And let's check. DE has how many tick marks? 3. So AC has how many tick marks? 3. It also corresponds to that, right? So if you label it like the names of the 2 different triangles, put it on top of each other, you can do that like that too. So let's do that over here. BE. BE. How many tick marks is that? 1. So which one has 1 tick mark on the other one? BC. Right? So it's saying BE, look, BC. Makes sense. So angle B corresponds to B. Angle V corresponds to what? Angle D corresponds to A. And if you look at this, how many curves do I have over here? 3. And A, I also have put in 3. So it makes sense. So this is A. What about E? How many curves do I have over here? Arcs. 1. How many do I have on C? 1. C. Now, on the right side, we're going to complete the proportion. And if you wake up, you learn and you pass my class. All right. So let's see again. Let's label this ABC and DBE. Says BD, which is these two, corresponds to BA. That is true. So DE corresponds to what? AC. That's it? Yeah? So now let's do it a little different. Let's do it with the tick marks. Okay? So that's AC. So let's do the tick marks to find more proportions. And we're also going to find the proportionality. So again, this is what I want you to do every single time. If you do this, you will not get them wrong. What did we do over here? We put in a S and the B, and then we put in tick marks, right? Okay. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to set up a proportion. But first, we're going to label S and B. And I know you were talking about on science about the squares for, it's very similar to that. Very similar to that. Pay attention. 1 and 2 tick marks. You can even make the box if you want to. So now, I'm going to look at the small one with 1 tick mark. And what number is that? Small one and 1 tick mark. What number is that? 6. You're going to put that number there. Small one, 1 tick mark is 6. Small one, 2 tick marks is going to be what number?
8.
Small one, 2 tick marks. 8. You're going to put it where the S2 is at. Okay? And then the big one with 1 tick mark, what number is that? 9. You're going to put that over here. And if you were looking for a missing length, you will put X in there and then you will do cross products. But we already have all the numbers, so we're just going to check if these are proportional. So what is B2? Big one, 2.
12.
What is it? 12. Right here. Now, how do you find proportionality, mister? Very, very easy. Let me show you. All you got to do is multiply these two like this. Cross multiply. What is 9 times 8?
9 times 8. 72.
Put it right here.
72.
Okay? Now multiply these two and put it on the bottom. What is 6 times 12?
72.
It's also 72.
72.
Are the two bottom numbers the same?
Yes.
So these are proportional. If when you do the cross multiply like that and the numbers are not the same, they're not proportional, you just say not proportional and move on. Okay? Now, how do you check if because we just check 2 sides, but there's 3 sides, right? You got to check the third one. So you got to check tick mark number 3, right? So you're going to do the same thing. Now you're going to do 3 tick marks. So you can do S, B, and you can take 1 and then 3. Wait. S1. What is S1? If we look on the left, we already have S1. What is S1? What is S1? 6. What is B1? 9. What is S3? 10. Very good. And what is B3? 15. And we're going to do the same thing. 9 times 10 is 90. 15 times 6 is 90. Are these two numbers the same? Yes. Therefore, it is proportional. Now, notice from this right here, the 72 and the first 2 proportions do not have to be the same as this right here. But when you're comparing the two proportions by themselves, like when you're comparing the two yellow ones, the bottom number has to be the same. And when you're comparing the black ones, the bottom number has to be the same. But the black and the yellow, they do not have to, well, the pink and the blue one, they do not have to be the same. You understand that? These two numbers are not going to be the same. But the pink itself has to be the same. The blue itself has to be the same. If they are, they're proportional, and then you just say, yes, they're proportional. And that's it. So we found out how to find the scale factor. Now we already know how to find corresponding sides and proportionality. Any questions so far? All right, so I hope that you learned something today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If not, don't be lazy, watch it again. Other than that, if you want to support the channel, check the links in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Let's ride. Goodbye.